Right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing? Bit of an impromptu stream, but let's go for it. Bandana, good morning. Good morning, Scoop. Lewis, good morning. Good morning, Moonboy. New Yorkie Buzzard, good morning. Sihinani? I'm butchering your name, but hello. Freddy, good morning. Moonboy, again. Scoop saying Ben, let's trade Ben. Let's not trade Ben, let's not give that words I can't use any form of money. This one's for all the mothers out there, good morning. Ah, it's Mother's Day, isn't it? Well, we Brits, not only did we Brexit, but we celebrate Mother's Day on a different day. So a couple of weeks, maybe even a month or two ago, I was like, oh, happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there, and everyone was like, what? What are you on about, Charlie? You idiot. Mother's Day isn't for months. And I'm like, are you sure? Because we're all celebrating it in the UK. But yes, happy Mother's Day to all of my international brethren. I hope you're all celebrating your mothers. 8th of March in Romania? Yeah, I think that's when it is in the UK. That sounds about right. Because it's my wife's birthday quite close to it, so it's basically like Mother's Day and her birthday, and then we kind of get it all done. So my effort is kind of concentrated to a month, and that's it. So how's everyone doing? Are we all winning this Sunday? If you're not preparing for Mother's Day, which if you're celebrating it, I hope you are. I hope you've got your mother something nice. What degen shitcoins are you all yeet longing and yeet shorting? I'm not going to be actively trading today, but I will be tomorrow. I've literally got a couple of hours, and I was like, I haven't actually done a public stream for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I like vibing with you guys. You got sick in 25-degree weather. People are sad. Yeah, that is very sad, Panda. I did do a stream with XO this week, which was amazing to be on his stream as a guest. If any of you saw it, that was a privilege. So what do we think of meme coin season then, boys and girls? Is it over? Is it done? Thanks to Pepe, you can put some chicken tandoori on the table for my children tonight. I mean, God, yeah, Pepe. Weather is finally nice in the UK. I know, mate. You should see my arm. Honestly, I've got a white t-shirt. I've got the worst white t-shirt ever because I went out for literally 4 minutes yesterday. That was about 4 hours. But yeah, I'm honest, my arm is so bad. It's proper red. Because I actually went away from the PC. Yeah, I mean, like for me, Pepe, like, you know, you can see the thought process here. Oh, thanks, Flyman. That's really appreciated. I mean, it's one of those where we talked a lot about how we're going to approach the next few months, how we've sort of found altcoins in the past, how to balance portfolios and do all that kind of stuff, and how we've done it anyway. And yeah, I think that is a different stream, because usually we sit and point at charts and we go, well, you know, if this does this, then I'm going to long here and do all that kind of wonderful stuff. But I'd like to think that there was quite a bit of source there. I mean, XO's a fucking legend. I learned a lot from him. And, you know, he's one of the few people that I think I'm probably a mix of a few traders on crypto Twitter, and I've taken like bits of inspiration from other people that make sense to me, and I think that's a really good way to go about trading and to go about building how you choose to interpret and define the market that you kind of want to play in and how you want to approach it. So, you know, I like very high beta shitcoins, partly because if you catch them early at the right time, it's kind of like playing the game on easy mode. But anyway, watch that stream, it's a good one. It's a really good one. If I don't say so myself, XO's an incredible trader. But yeah, Pepe, I mean, for me personally, like, I caught this leg up here. I looked at Pepe on the 14th or 16th of April or something like that, and decided I was too ill to participate in shitcoinery, and then it went like 600x. But I did manage to catch, I'll just say it because it's a low cap shitcoin, so, you know, Dior, all that kind of stuff. I'm not buying it now, but it was Pepo, so I typed in Pepe wrong, and I'm not even sure if this is even Pepo USD. Oh, it's actually listed on BitGet. Holy fuck! I mean, yeah, that's not great. Pepo USDT. Let's see if that works. But not going to work, is it? No. But yeah, I bought some Pepo, and that was my little meme coin gamble. And I think it went like 160x, but I only managed to realise, I think it was around 50 or so. Don't know what it's doing at the moment. But Pepe derivative, so yeah, I missed the whole sort of Pepe run, but I got in some Pepo down here somewhere. Hey, Sullivan. 4 million market cap now. Yeah, definitely quiet. But it's, you know, it's when you go into the degen land of like utter shitcoins, like you just have to be prepared that whatever you're going to put in could quite easily go to fucking zero, right? So if you've got $1,000 portfolio, I really, really would just, you know, you're taking 1 or 2% of that, which doesn't actually make sense after gas fees, because gas is obviously so brutal at the moment. Me and Jim stream a year ago? Yeah, it was good actually. I'll have to see if Jim will come on again at some point. I quite like doing dual streams because the conversation flows a lot easier. And, yeah, you just get that banter, don't you? And it's really good when people have different views. I always like to... Because I'd like to think I'm quite open-minded. And I quite like to think that my opinion can be changed, right? Like, you know, I don't want to trade Ben because it's got, like, BitBoy affiliation and all that kind of shit. But actually, you know, it doesn't look too horrific. And I'm not advocating buying this, by the way. Just, this isn't a meme coin stream. But, yeah, like, bit of strength at range highs. Yeah, maybe not now, but it's certainly one of the, like, when you compare it to, you know, all the centralized shit, it's like where's the volatility? It's all on chain at the moment. Also, you make loads of adults that are popping, like OP apt. Yeah, and that's the thing. Say you have 5k, how are you going to run it up starting from now? Aping into random on-chain shitcoins, leverage trading the majors? Ooh, that's a hard one. I've been tempted to start, or to do like a challenge account. The thing is that like, at the moment, like, intraday alt rotations are generally pretty poor. So, how do I put it? When we were like January, a challenge account is not easy to run up, but the conditions favour it because you can take setups like, and obviously we know it in hindsight, but when you're in an environment where intraday rotations are like 2% to the downside, 10% to the upside, right? And you're basically seeing that day after day after day after day, and you're seeing that most altcoins are doing 5%, and there's a few that are doing 10 to 20%, like Aptos and LDO. Like, they are pretty fucking risk-on conditions for alts. Now, if that's the state of the market, running up a challenge account and taking even dumb trades, like, you know, you got something like this, like, what do you think is going to happen here? It's probably just going to fucking break out. And you can literally, and I did this, you know, I was doing breakout trades, like, okay, maybe not like 32% targets, but, you know, breakout trades like that, and just managing my position size really effectively in here. And yeah, okay, you ate some dick sometimes, you know, it would just come down, maybe then go right for the next leg. But when you've got that, you know, high beta, high risk on conditions after basically the market cascading down, trying to die again, failing, you know, that whole schematic, like time to be risk on, break out of ranges. Breaks of big ranges, you know, the bigger the range, the bigger the expansion, all that bullshit. I actually disagree with that. On the basis of, if you look at something like Link, so, you know, Link's absolute fucking trash tier, right? Look at that. Like, it's been sat in a range well over a year now, like, done absolutely fuck all. When it breaks out, are people going to be like, "Wee, it's going to infinity"? No, I don't think so. Like, utter garbage coin. No strength, no relative strength at all from an altcoin perspective. Like, it may break out at some point, but I doubt it's going to go on a monster run. You know, to me, it's kind of a dead dodo. So, it's got far more chance of just breaking down. But anyway, back to your question. Yeah, breakout trading is what I like, but it's a bit difficult if you haven't done it and you're just starting. And it obviously depends on how much time you've got to sit in front of the screen, because, you know, I sit here for 8 hours a day, and some days I'll take 10 trades, some days I'll take none, and, you know, the last few weeks I've not taken many trades at all, because the outliers have been either a liquid dog shit, or it's just been, well, it's been short season really, hasn't it? And I'm far worse at shorts. than I am longing. Which is just something that you learn over time, right? You journal your stats, and the way that high beta shitcoinery works is when you are on the long side and you are, in favor of the trend, like with Pepe, a few of my friends were saying I'm a fucking idiot for logging it. And I'm like, well, literally, you've had this breakout, clearing these highs, long it in here somewhere, and okay, like there's basically no point where, even if you stick a simple like EMA on it, like the EMA never got retested until up here. So you've already made, you've made a 2x. Nice voice, so posh. Oh, well, I do say, darling. Yes. You just get this voice when you're British. VeChain dying. 8 hours and 0 trades is pain. Yeah, I mean, it is. And this is the thing, is like, obviously, you go on TikTok, you go on anything else, and people glorify it, and they say, like, oh, wow, just made $10,000, and I've just drank my morning coffee, and now I'm going to spend the rest of the day out. 8 hours a day in front of the screen, no trade is fucking god chat discipline. Yeah, it is. I mean, the thing is that discipline, you need discipline to do this full time, and to do this, with reasonable sums of money. You're glad you have a job, because solely relying on this for a trade every day would be hell. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? And I do not advocate to anyone to go full-time trading if you need to do it. It's really counterintuitive, but if I had the pressure of having to make, let's say, $500 a day to keep my family fed, or $200 a day, or whatever it might be, to keep my family fed and a roof above my head, that would just, that would literally crush me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't do it. I don't know whether that says more about me or trading, but, for me personally, no. And that's why a lot of people say that if you want to go full-time trading, then there's a couple of things. You need at least 2 years of living expenses in the bank that you are happy to basically draw down on and go, that is money there for me to take this risk and I'm going to live off it. And then you obviously need your capital to trade with, which shouldn't be a small sum of money. Am I from Liverpool? My god, no. No offence to any Liverpudlians, but I don't think I sound like a Scouser. And then, yeah, like, having additional revenue streams, whatever they might be. So even if you are just doing, if you're a skilled, I'm a qualified chartered accountant, all that kind of wonderful stuff, I can still do the odd bit of, like, consultancy for businesses. I've got an advisory position for a business that pays very well for the 4 days a year that I actually do anything. And I don't necessarily need that money, but it's nice to have something, A, outside of crypto, B, a little source of income that's just, outside of it all, and, yeah, diversifying. Max Long, Orange Juice Futures, yeah, my man, honestly. Orange Juice. We're all talking about shitcoins, but actually Orange Juice is the real fucking... Like, oh, actually, whoa, what's happened to Orange Juice? Dev's rugged. Orange Juice top is in, boys. Look at it. Fucking nuts. Work from home is really clutch for trading. Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the thing, is like, I don't think it's sensible for people to want to be a low time frame scalper whilst trying to have a life and trying to have a job and trying to, like, live. Photoshop vitamin C, yeah. I just don't. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you probably actually need to take a risk and go down, like, a prop shop trading route, or join a firm in some way, shape or form. That's what I would do. Not that I've been through that experience, but I think you need to make it your sole focus. Whereas I don't think swing trading on like a 4 hour chart basis is that difficult or time consuming. So, you know, if you create a simple system based off market structure, based off ranges, whatever, you know, do it for Bitcoin. Let's take a fresh Bitcoin chart. You know, what do you want to see? How are you going to play things? Well, I'm going to play range reclaims. Okay, that's my only setup. Okay, well, I've got a 4-hour chart. We've reclaimed the range. I'm long in. Stop under there. Lovely. And I'm going to play it to range high. Like, that is my system. Job done. Right? You only really need to check the chart once a day, which, let's be honest, how long does everybody spend on their phone? You know, you go for a shit at work, you check your phone, right? Check your trading view. I remember, like, years ago, in 2017, when I was just non-stop refreshing Blockfolio. You know, every 10 minutes, me and my mate were sending each other WhatsApps on about smart cash and being like, "It's up another $2,000. It's up another $2,000. What the fuck?" And another. And we were just sat there, like, literally. I was at a like Christmas party, and we were just spamming each other with our portfolios, just going mental. Is the bull run done? I don't know. You know, I'm not going to sit here and claim that I do. It's very clear and evident that what we've had is a series of moves across the risk spectrum, and the risk spectrum to me is the kind of standard cycle, right? It's Bitcoin, ETH, it's ICAP, top tier alts. You then tend to get some like mid-tier alts going off, and then you get meme coins after dog shit. And that's the like typical cycle, right? Capital flows from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and we are here. We are here. Now the question is whether we recycle that back. And what typically happens, or has happened in bull cycles, is you get that move down the risk spectrum, and then it recycles back to BTC and ETH. And, you know, Bitcoin dominance is probably, whilst I hate the metric, because it doesn't include all the on-chain alts, and a lot of people are saying like, oh, you know, even I say it, that, you know, but I caveat it, the SEX volatility as in centralized exchange, not the other one, is pretty dog shit, right? It's not great, but that's because, in my mind, a lot of people have gone to quote-unquote trade or gamble on shit like this, right? That's fine, I like it. I've got a couple of wallets where I'm dedicated to, you know, buying some of these coins. Saudi Pepe, okay. You know, Simpson, okay. 14 million market cap, of course. Are you telling me you didn't all-in Simpson coin for a 38x? Like, what the fuck? This is the market, right? And I'm not advocating going into meme coin. Please do not risk all your life savings. Don't be fucking idiots, right? But when we start talking about like there's no volatility at the moment, it's like, yeah, because it's all fucking on chain. It's all in dog shit like this, whether you like it or not. You know, and again, no advocates of any particular coins or anything like that. But I don't like sharing low cap plays anymore. Even though every motherfucker on the planet wants the next SHIB, you're not allowed to talk about it because it's, you know, it's low volume, low market cap. What my indicators, I'll go through them in a sec. It's literally RSI, but customized a little bit, and Awesome Oscillator, customized only in color form. And then on here, VRVP, which is this. I think you need a certain level of TradingView Premium, maybe, to get that. And then just Paragon Delta, which just colours some candles. Hey, good morning, Born. How are you, my friend? What are you doing at the moment? Are you longing or shorting some shitcoins? I did deposit my 5 ETH in anticipation of the PSYOP launch. Yes, and this is so back to the back to this whole like market cycle discussion. The thing that kind of really is questionable for me, and whether we have a rotation in kind of Bitcoin and ETH, is actually this. You know, there is an argument to say that if you were playing this chart, which is the sort of cyclical rotations between Bitcoin and altcoins, you know, for it to rotate, that's a breakout of a range that it's been in for well over a year. But we'll see. I think one thing for me is on rotations like this suggests, with everything being above BTC, that actually alts are the better beta play. But if we start seeing Bitcoin doing this and the alts doing this, and we start seeing Bitcoin dominance do this, then yeah, there's a good chance, IMO, that actually we're going to get quite a strong Bitcoin rotation. But obviously everyone's macro doomers at the moment, so can't possibly happen. We can't possibly go up. The simplest setup can't possibly work, right? Right? Padme meme. Bitcoin demooning can mean other things as well, you know? Yeah, like all alts just fucking go straight to zero. All alts get rugged of liquidity. But I mean, genuinely, like the volatility is on chain, and you know, I'm throwing small amounts at various shitcoins. Some of them are doing really well. Some of them are doing utter garbage. I wonder if this is the Mong. No, I guess not. I bought a fuck ton of Mong when, what was his name? Mr. Sherman started talking about it. Good God. But yeah, some of these, yeah, ridiculous. Like a crash, yeah, exactly, Scoop. And that's why the metric is, it's interesting, but it's not really particularly actionable, not for me anyway. You know, what I always look at is this tells me like beta of altcoins versus Bitcoin. And this is environment I prefer to trade in, prefer to operate in. But yeah, I mean, I'm not super, you know, I think the time to be bearish, or to be ridiculously bearish, you know, shorting essentially range lows, that's not my game. Am I in team up or down? I'm not really in team anything. I'm not going to be trading this till tomorrow. I just thought I'd jump onto stream, to be honest. I think for me, I think I'm much more in team bull. What do you think about a weekly RSI and AA bear div if we pump from here? Echo Bubble 2019 ended with a weekly bear div. I mean, yeah, why not? I think high time frame, obviously Bitcoin is not looking particularly great. But the amount of degeneracy is unfathomable at this moment in time. Like, if we do not get a rotation back to kind of Bitcoin and ETH, and it'll become quite clear, right? Because we are sat at this range. Let's have a peep. You know, this is quite easy, right? This is basically, you know, my invalidation now. If it kind of can't push up from here, then it's probably over, right? But I'd rather be on the side of Team Bull for one last time, and if we lose this meme line at 26,650, or you know that region, if we lose that, it's kind of over. But I'm not the kind of person to short this low. The setup that I would take, that I like taking a lot of the time, and anyone who's seen my streams before will know, you know, impulse move into a little range and push up to take these, come back down and get on board there, number one, and then number two as your bias, which we have kind of had. So that move there, you know, very quite an impulse and just got sold down. But equally, we've tried to break down to the lows and failed. So maybe it's a range, painful little range that we're just going to sit in. But yes, I'm going to. I think shorting after such a strong down move just isn't for me. I'd rather fade Euphoria. That's one of my favourite setups. And if you look at Pepe, that's exactly what happened on the 1 hour chart. Both me and XO actually were looking at it and waiting to get a bit of a better complacency bounce off this, but we never got it. Kind of wanted to see it on the 4 hour, but yeah, it never happened. I think Pepe is here to stay. It's a hard one because Pepe is, I'd say, more culturally appropriate for crypto Twitter than Doge. I think the issue generally is that the dilution of alts and, how do I put it? Like, Doge used to signal a risk-on rotation to full-on meme coins, and when you talk about, the cycles, Doge was the proxy for that. Now, I still think that there is a bit of flow like this, but I think there's probably the odd thing that's changed in that there's narratives that seem to be much stronger now because of the dilution. So because you've got a lot more altcoins out there, right? You've probably got 30-odd thousand on CoinMarketCap or however many there are. It's very difficult to focus attention and buying power into a single coin, right? Or a single project, because there's just so many. So when you had like LDO and Aptos going, and everyone was kind of focused on those, you obviously get a lot more volume, a lot more volatility, and actually, you get those strong parabolic moves. Now, when we start talking about meme season, like how are we going to know it's meme season? Do you know what I mean? It's going to be like, right, well, we've got Pepe, we've got Wojak, we've got Doge, we've got Shib, we've got Floki, we've got all this shit now. We've got Mong or whatever the hell we've got up here. Like, it just becomes a lot harder. And will it stay? Yeah, probably. But is it going to run to top 10 like Doge did? Don't know. I'm not sure there's kind of enough firepower. And also, people seem to just rotate from meme to meme to meme. Like, the rotations on meme coins are fucking fast. Ladies. Yeah, I'm just going off these top ones. Sponge doing not a lot. So yeah, it's hard. Not gonna lie, got caught off guard on the strength of the move down. Closed shorts way too early. Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, we've been in an uptrend for a while, and it just brutally sold off. And you can probably see why I haven't been particularly active the last couple of weeks. Not my favourite condition, but equally, I think we get some move up, and if it gets smacked down and we end up just dying, then great. But I'm not willing to take a range low breakdown short position. Not unless I'm gonna be literally on low time frame. And let's delete some of this shit, shall we? Not unless I'm going to just be super active and I'm going to be here. This is, to me, this is kind of 50-50 territory. Like, look at that compression as well, like that volatility. Look at it. Just nothing. I would rather play breakouts either to the upside, and if it fails, like literally low time frame rotation basically, and if it starts failing and closes below, that's your kind of entry trigger, and vice versa. I'd like to see it reclaim. or you can be very aggressive and try and short the lows. But that is usually quite hard. I would rather see us do this, come down to the lows, come back, reclaim, or play a breakout. Like I said, my bias is still up, but quite happy to be wrong. Let's see what ETHBTC is doing. So when we've got a bias like that, we just move the line. Move the line to fit your bias. No, it's definitely getting a bit weaker. I think ETHBTC will be quite telling as well of that whole relative strength piece between alts. And this is the thing at the moment, like look, you go down this list, and okay, it's a curated list of the altcoin market, right? But 2%, 1%, 1%, like, why is that even on my list? What the fuck is that? Look at that shit, Jesus Christ. It's coming off. LDO's been really strong actually. From the lows, really strong. Especially after it's run up back here. Right, has anyone got any shitcoins they want me to look at? Or I might go play some computer games or do something a bit different. Told you it was going to be a short stream. BSV has been really strong as well. On rotations. Absolutely nuts. After that move. It was in the charts all along, boys. Look. Most obvious trade ever. Obvious. In the charts on the 2 hour. You looked at Ben, mate. I'm not charting Ben. Magic. I quite like magic. So is magic on here anymore? No, I think I added magic on here for ARB season. Yeah, not bad beta. I mean, if you want to take positions on magic, it's pretty simple in validation. Yeah, you just want to see some strength, but even like hard, because I like using meme lines like this as kind of where am I wrong, and also where can I get on board, and you know that's your kind of stop. That's your entry, or around your entry. Like entering here, I'd have to be quite aggressive and trying to you know, get in on a flip of that basically. Hello, large phallus Bazuzo. Sand. I'm not even gonna put that ticker in, mate. I can draw the sand chart. There you go. There's sand. Sol has relative value strength. Well, it's one of those where not doing anything. So there was a really good example that I'll always go back to because it was one of my best trades ever, which was NEAR, and I can't remember when it was, but it was the whole market absolutely shat the bed for like a minus 20% move on alts. Maybe it was minus like 15, and like Bitcoin went down like 5%, right? And NEAR just did this, and NEAR was actually quite an in-play coin at the time, right? It was pretty good rotations, pretty high on beta, and I built a massive position on NEAR because I was like, why is the entire market going down but this isn't? And literally as soon as the market stabilized, NEAR just went like that, And I was like, oh, okay, great. That's probably one of the biggest amounts of money I've ever made in a short space of time. And it was because it was just being propped up. Obviously, I was helping it, but yeah, I kind of don't feel the same with Sol because it's not had much strength recently, and yeah, it does look fairly distributive, as you say, but equally. It is a coin that I do want to own. If you heard me and XO talk about it on his stream, I think we will get some reasonable entries on it. And it's a highly used blockchain, right? And it's actually low fees, it's relatively user friendly, and look at the weekly. We actually start getting some momentum at some point, it could be pretty strong. I mean, I personally think we get an opportunity to buy some lower, but we'll see. We'll see. Doesn't look too bad. Like low time frame, but it's just such low beta. Look at some of the liquidity on this shit, and Jesus Christ. Look at it. I know it's a 15-second chart, but holy fuck. GCR will defend his entry. What, on Sol? Has he got a bag of Sol, has he? I think he bought Ethan Bitcoin, didn't he? Would I go long on a $20 flip on Sol? I tend to play breakouts, so I'd be quite happy if I could see. So, like, if you look at this, right? Let's pretend the market's a little bit more volatile, and this isn't a 4-hour chart, and let's say that this is a 5-minute chart. Like, got reasonable market structure. If I can see that Sol is high beta on here, then I'll usually go right as it's moving up, start taking a position. So build it in here. And then if it does start moving up and then starts coming back down, like my entry is basically my invalidation. So I'm trying to build for essentially that next move up, and then I'll just ride it and trend follow it. And if you've got a high beta coin that's in a place with a nice invalidation and you've got the potential to swing it, like let's pretend that this view is actually a bit lower time frame, because it hasn't broken down. It's tried a couple of times, but buyers are present, and it's started getting some relative strength and beta, and actually you can start getting on board and yada yada yada. Then yeah, I like breakout trades. And also the second thing is that the longer you're in this position, the lower the probability of it actually breaking out is. Because you want to see not necessarily instant reaction, straight off, like everyone thinks as soon as they enter a position it should do this. But the longer you're holding it, and the longer it isn't really doing much, the higher the probability, in my experience, of it just going, you know what, I'm just going to slow bleed down. At which point do I move my stop loss? So as soon as you kind of break above, then I'll just start moving my stop up. And typically I manage trades. Let's deal with this. So I just move my stop up, like as we're going up. And it can be around market structure, it can be around simple trends, it can be around different things depending on the conditions that I find myself in and how risk on I want to be. So if the entire market is pumping and my coin is doing fuck all, I'll probably just close it, to be honest with you. I don't like holding laggards because they just tend to, I'll be really aggressive with profit taking. I'll be really aggressive with, if my coin is the shit one and it's doing this while most other coins are doing this, I'll just be moving my stop up, and then stop out, fine. Made a small bit of profit. If I can see on Spaghetti that I've got the coin that's going like this and everything else in the market is doing like this, then I actually want to be riding that for much longer, much harder. So I'm a little bit less aggressive in taking profit, and I will be using, you know, trend following, sort of simple systems like that keep me from going, oh fuck, you know, I've got X amount of money on the table, I kind of want to take this off, because there's a big, not bear market PTSD, but it's, well, maybe it is bear market PTSD, maybe that is the right way of putting it. You know, we had a period of correction where actually we were basically down only for what, 2 years nearly? Well, a year, okay, right, a year and a couple of months. So you got like a 16-month period where you were just down only, right? So taking some profits out was kind of buried into your skull. You kind of had to do it. Otherwise you'd go broke quick. Whereas now you can get some really good rotations. So it's finding that balance of the environment that you're in, the amount your coin could run by. You're always going to leave something on the table. Doesn't matter. Like, it's very rare that you top tick, and having the expectation that you're going to top tick, you know, you're going to close your short at the Pico bottom, or you're going to close your long at the Pico top. Very fucking rare in my experience. You know, I've done it a couple of times, but I've done thousands and thousands of trades, so, you know, you average that out. It's, unless your proficiency is literally knife catching, which some people do it really well. Yeah, it's not mine. I do have one setup that's around liquidations, but I don't really talk about it too much here because it's fucking high risk, and I only do it with smaller sums. Yeah, sorry, I've ranted there. Would I long VeChain? No. No. Next question. I'll tell you the reasons why I wouldn't long it, right? Like, there are times when markets go absolutely nuts, okay? And, you know, you take 2020, 2021, and I don't think we're ever going to have a market like that again, but let's kind of jump into the scenario. Hang on. Bloody Steam. Let's think about the market in its current state, right? You've got so many coins, not enough liquidity, not enough buyers, blah blah blah, all that kind of wonderful stuff. Like, do you want to be longing this, or do you want to be longing something that's broken out of its range? Right? This could do this for the next 20 fucking years, right? I don't know if VeChain is still around, whatever they had their run in 2017 in my opinion, but you know, even in 2021, they did catch a bid eventually, but look at it, like, fuck all, and then finally a move. VeChain looks exactly like Link, exactly. Yeah, is it accumulation? I mean, if you want to buy a bag and spot hold it forever, then great. But that's not what I want to do at this point in time in the cycle as I view it, right? And I personally think VeChain has seen 2 cycles, 2017 and 2021, and I don't know, I would need to check, but I'm assuming that in 2017, the returns were actually, you know, the kind of opposite of that. The returns were like that 2017, like that 2021, and they'll probably be like that in the next cycle, right? So you've got declining returns. Like, I just don't think that VeChain has another run like that. And if it does have another run, fuck me, we're at the point in the cycle where any old shit is going to pump, so you should be making money off fucking anything. But personally, I think new and shiny is always going to outshine old and done. I could be wrong, right? You have to make your own decisions around investment and all that kind of stuff, not financial advice, blah blah blah. But, you know, the thing that we talked about on stream before, at the kind of start of the year, was every single altcoin looks like this. Every single one, right? Dip, reclaim. Okay? Or they look something like that. Something like that. Now, all you had to do is set an alert up here on every single altcoin and look at what is breaking out of the range first. Because some altcoins are going to do this. Some altcoins might even do that. Like Jewel and a couple of other ones. Like, some altcoins They're just gonna sit in here and do fucking nothing. And what do you want to be trading? What do you want to be? You want to be in with everyone else, right? You want to be trading what's fucking moving. And you want to be buying what other people want. Like, that to me is the simplest thing. Like, after Bitcoin dumps, you want to see the strongest horse coming out of the race, which is what this tells you. This tells you that. And on occasion, it shows you some really mad shit like this. It shows you where... Go replay. I covered this on XO stream. But it shows you where something has happened, and suddenly there's this incredibly tradable coin. Like, what? What's going on here? What's going on here? Do I want my money to sit and oscillate around $1,000 to $2,000 for the next 5 years? Probably not. Or do I want to gamble here and go, I'm either going to lose $200 or I'm going to make whatever this will be until it loses market structure or a trend. So yeah, it's a real big answer to would I buy VeChain? The answer is no. If you have the strong coin with relative strength which just moons, how much of the position would you usually TP in percent while you let the rest run? I've been letting very few run because the market's been quite whipsawy and rotationary. So you've meant to make up some words. And I would say it depends on the conditions. So if you I don't really have a set, like 20% I'm gonna leave running, because I'm usually either trying to hold on for it at the whole position for as long as possible, or I'm trying to actually just be quite aggressive and go, you know, as soon as we've lost that market structure, I'm out type thing. My thoughts on Atom. Atom always used to be the canary in the mine, which means that, you know, you'd send it in, and if it starts moving, everyone else should be worried. But I don't know. I mean, everyone's like, oh, it's shown relative strength. It's like, well, not really. It looks like dog shit. Like, it still looks pretty fucking tragic. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay, great. It's held up here, but each push weaker and weaker and weaker. I was going to jump something else. What was I going to look at? I lost my train of thought. What's my thoughts on Atom? Yeah, so that's it. That's really it. It's kind of the canary in the mine. Oh, was it Tomo? Tomo. Ah, oh, lovely. Look at that. Just up only. You know, so when people start talking about relative strength and stuff like that, like this was a relatively strong coin. Like, you've got a really nice, you know, sort of short setup on the 4 hour. You know, basically this failure here. You know, I quite like that. I'm not in a position, by the way. But yeah. If you believe in Link to be a mega accumulation range, then I highly recommend you draw a volume profile on Link BTC since its existence. We find that Link is back within macro value area with a POC 80% lower. Definitely not a coin you want to be holding. Yeah, I mean, I don't look at the market like that, but I understand that way of viewing it because that's what Magus does and teaches in the Paragon. And I watch his videos, and he makes order flow make sense and volume-based trading makes sense, which I never thought I'd even be interested in or want to understand. But this is my whole point around. It sounds so counterintuitive, but I want to buy strength. Because there's a time cost to your capital as well. So if you've got £1,000, $1,000 locked in an account for 5 years, giving you 2% interest, like, great. But if you've got something that, you know, in the next week can give you a 1% return, and then a week later another thing can give you a 1% return, not only have you compounded that 1%, so technically it's slightly more than 2, but, you know, you are rotating and growing that money much quicker, so you're getting those exponential gains. And I'm not saying that you're going to do that trading, right? Let's just manage expectations. Most traders' growth curves look something like this. Like, I'm a fucking genius, hooray, and then oh, like, revert to normal type thing. And that's, you know, that's quite common. But that whole principle of you can compound quite quickly in like true alt seasons by catching some good rotations. So, you know, moving from like LDO to Aptos, you're up 10%, you're up another 10%, you catch another trade, you're up another 10%, you know, you're not actually up 30%, you're up, you know, compounded, whatever it is, you're probably up 32% or something like that. I can't work out the maths quick enough, but that's why I like alt rotations and strength. And holding and accumulating is fine, I think, for projects that you've got high conviction in, have some form of edge, and you're early in them. You know, you are really early in them, is my current view of risk reward. So I don't want to, you know, I will buy some ETH at some point, I will buy some SOL at some point, because I think I can put enough money in there to make it worth my while. But if I was sat at a 5k portfolio or something like that, there is no way on God's green earth I'd be like, right, I'm going to DCA into Bitcoin or ETH. And that's because my risk appetite would actually be quite high. But that's me, you know, my personal view. I'd rather take £5,000 bets or $1,000 bets on some fundamentally sound projects, or even like a meme coin or two, and just spread the risk and go, right, I'm going to put £1,000 in 5 projects each, or sorry, 5 projects, and then just don't have to really monitor them, set some alerts, walk away for a year or two. But, you know, everyone's got to do what they want to do. If you are motivated to be a trader, absolutely pursue it. You know, a lot of people have an ideology of it. I think the reality is far from the ideology, but maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my trading style. Just left the Paragon from last XO stream with you. Which days of the week do we hold our streams? It varies. It varies. So we do outlooks. Both of us. So Magus will do an outlook tonight. I'll do one tomorrow. That will be specifics of sort of trades that I'm looking for in the week, what I'm looking to do, and actual, you know, squiggles and alerts. So I do a lot of alerts that just say, you can see some of them probably. I think I've still got the Bitcoin one, yeah, like that one. The plan was we fade that if we get up there, over under fade, and that was my shorts. The ideal short scenario. They just ping off to the Discord and all that kind of wonderful stuff. But in terms of actual like streams, I tend to do Thursdays, Magus does Fridays. But yeah, we drop videos throughout the week usually. And if there's something like CPI, then try and go on voice chat. I've been a bit lax the last week or two because I've had a fair bit going on with my daughter breaking her arm and all that kind of wonderful stuff. Good morning, how is your dog's mental state? But yeah, hopefully that answers. It's JVM. Good morning, how's your dog's mental state? So, my dog is fine, but I don't know, he seems a bit broken, to be honest. Like, he seems a bit scatty. And if anyone hasn't seen, I'll put it in the chat, because it's kind of funny, but not funny, if that makes sense. Thoughts on the Eurovision outcome? Oh, I did watch Eurovision last night, actually. You're going to learn something about Charlie. That he's a big Eurovision fan. And was gutted that he couldn't get tickets. Particularly because I may be turning a year older soon. Yeah, that tweet's my dog. Yeah, he looks so fluffy and cute. Now he looks like a fucking axe murderer. Actually, instead of... That is such a boomer thing I've just done, isn't it? I've literally just... I could have just done that. Instead of paste the tweet in the chat. Like, look. Look. So cute and happy. Vicious axe murderer. Like, look, that's not the face that you want to see, is it? Poor boy. Poor boy. Eurovision and dog clipping pics. Yeah, exactly. That's the stream that you all tuned in for. I think I've tagged this in crypto under Twitch. Man hitting full handle. Have I ever been liquidated? Nah, not. So I've been liquidated in terms of I was playing around with functionality on Delta Exchange actually around removing margin from positions, and I like removed too much and there was a move and I got liquidated then, but it was literally pennies and I got my first liquidation email. But I've never been liquidated on a like position, like an actual, you know, I'm gonna put X $1,000 and all this kind of wonderful stuff. Because I'm a pussy, is the honest answer. You know, I was a former accountant, and my risk appetite and profile was just so fucking low. Like, I'm not the degenerate gambler that everyone thinks I kind of am. Like, whilst I meme a lot on Twitter, I actually take trading pretty seriously, and it's my money at the end of the day. Like, you know, I'm a tight motherfucker as well, real tight. So, the kind of, oh, I'm going to make it all in one trade. No, it's not how it works, and that's not how I want to approach the market. And yeah, like I have stop losses. I've had some times where, you know, I've put a position on, and as I'm about to set my stop loss, it's done this, and just sort of, you know, abused me a little bit, but never to the point where it's been like, whoom, game over. Tight, tight, tight. Yes, my friend. Is Bitcoin going down? Let's have a look. It doesn't. It looks like it's just going sideways for the moment, my friend. But I'm kind of team Buller, which is most probably just ranging, which obviously that's a fairly shit RR setup. But if you can get a little bit of strength on low time frame, I'd like to try that. UD was right, you killed Bitcoin. Yeah, that's hilarious, isn't it? How did the COVID crash impact me? I made a lot of money on the way up. Basically. I wasn't in any positions as far as I'm aware. I literally woke up and I was like, what the fuck's happened? So I missed all the drama of like Bitcoin nearly going to zero. I missed everything, like people longing the bottom with their entire net worths. Like, I remember people, let's go back to it. You know, I remember people flexing like P&L cards from like 3K or something. They got it on some perps at 3 something. You know, it's obviously spot. And I was not convinced. I was not convinced that we were just going to rally. So I was pretty bearish in this whole move. I'm not going to pretend I wasn't. I bought some spot Bitcoin down here. And I bought some spot Bitcoin at like, I don't know, up here. I literally DCA'd once we got like, once we started moving like this. I was DCAing around here. You know, my buys were far above the bottom. Mother's Day lunch. Enjoy. But yeah, like, honestly, it was... I thought this was just like a relief bounce. Got it completely wrong. But still ended up making a fuck ton of money. So, you know, it just proves that you don't have to be right every day of the week. And yes, maybe it was once in a lifetime event, blah blah blah. But, you know, when we started this, when we did this, basically, as soon as we got here, that was when I just went, right, fucking all in. So, you know, basically wrong for the best part of a year. Or, let's say, 1, 2, 3 and a bit months I was probably wrong for. And then as soon as we had this, it was like, oh, that's game over then. And then actually, it was just up only, and right, bias is flipped. Very fast, Ali. What? No, it wasn't really. Like, it took a while to recover that dip. And I mean, the whole world got fucked up, right? Like, I couldn't see the, there were people who just said, you know, money printer being turned on, let's go. Like, infinity, straight to infinity. And, you know, people literally tweeted that, like, in here somewhere. And, like, if I knew then what I know now, like, being able to correlate that to actually huge amounts of liquidity being injected into, you know, traditional markets, cryptos are high beta version of that, like, my risk appetite would have been a lot higher. But, you know, all easy to say and do in hindsight. And every cycle you learn lessons, right? Nah, you don't have to apologise, Sav. Oh my god. Yeah, we're just vibing. Do you think S&P can make macro highs soon? New pain for macro experts. Like, imagine. The thing is, for me, keep doing that. No, just to be clear, I don't trade TradFi, but in terms of the chart, you know, it's not, from a market structure perspective, it's not particularly bad. I think the big thing to watch out for is this. You know, finally got a bit of strength on dollar. You know, it's not a div, but it's losing momentum on the daily. See if we've got any actual actionable signals. No, not really. But, I mean, this is kind of similar to that setup that I was talking to earlier about. Not perfect because of this, but, you know, move up and then actually completely fail and deviate and come back inside that range. And now we're back at range highs. Failed to break above the range. And actually, yeah, it's not been great since. So do I think it can put in an all-time high? The market can do whatever the fuck it wants, right? Do whatever the hell it likes. Do I want to long here? No. Rather long that. Do I want a short here? Yeah, there's probably a good setup there. But no. I find it much harder to join a short or join a downtrend. Even though you can just use the old trick of invert the chart. Delete this. But yeah, it would be interesting if S&P just started rallying. I think the dollar's going to be the one to watch this week. With where it is. No, this is a fucking strong move. Yeah, for risk on assets, we really want to see some form of weakness. But there just isn't really any. We'll eventually, unless it legit is a new paradigm. The S&P has been historically great. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's a, you know, it's a proxy of you know, total money supply, isn't it? Really. There's probably something smart you can do around like S&P and M2 total money supply, whatever it is, whatever the indicator is, and watch it oscillate. But equally, you know, I believe that we will see, you know, this is my belief, not financial or investment advice, that, you know, we will see Bitcoin get to stupid numbers like 150k. You know, everyone's got the 100k target in mind, but I think, you know, every cycle it does something stupid, and I think that this might just be an echo bubble or whatever, but I think eventually we see it, you know, at proportionately much higher than this. But the important thing is, you know, how much is a dollar worth at that point? And by how much is it worth, I just mean what can it buy you? So if you consider that, you know, a Bitcoin up here was, let's say, 10 loaves of bread, I expect up here, or at 2x that value, that it's probably going to be less loaves of bread. Not than 10, but proportionally it's not going to be a 2x, right? I'm explaining this terribly. If that's 10 loaves of bread, by the time it gets up to here, it'll probably be like 15. So I think, you know, if you correlate Bitcoin with purchasing power of US dollar, then it's not going to be as dramatic as people think. And I always think, like, one of my friends is like, oh, if I save this in my pension, I'll have like a $1 million or £1 million in my pension when I'm 60. Well, I'm like, yeah, but great. When you're 60, mate, like, £1 million will get you like a chocolate bar. Do you know what I mean? Like the way the rate inflation's going. Hey, Digital Pyramid. Is your name a reflection of the digital Ponzi scheme that we're all trading? Echo Bubble. Yeah, you know what I mean. I mean, a lot of people just have this really simple view, similar to me really, which is that you kind of, something like this, maybe even bigger, is a pretty key pivot. Now we've lost it. It's kind of fucked. Trend, you know, deviation. I can totally get on board with that. GCR as a chair, don't get what people say, shame he ain't gonna post. Yeah, I think GCR will come back. He'll probably just do what he did before and just come back on a little alt. What is with people asking me to mark opens, man? No. No. I don't want to. It's not how I trade. and I hate zooming in and doing it. Sorry, Sullivan, I can't be asked. But yeah, it's gonna be like coincide with it, isn't it? If you haven't made it till you are old, what are we even doing? Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I think it was more just the reflection of like everyone focuses on that kind of money in today's terms, where £1 million, yeah, it's a lot of money, right? Great, you can do some really cool stuff with that. But when I look at like houses, you know, I never imagined I'd own a house that is worth the value of my home, right? Like I just, like when I was 20 years younger, that value would have been, you know, a fucking huge estate with hundreds of bedrooms and all that kind of stuff. And now it's just ridiculous. Like, if you want a 3-bedroom house in sort of my local area, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of thousands, which is just, you know, a terrace, bog standard, nothing particularly exciting. At a time where, you know, average wage isn't exactly anything exciting. Ooh, we're doing some ETH analysis on Exostream. Look at all these lovely colours. Actually looks quite nice, doesn't it? I mean, ETH BTC is still holding up, and as much as I memed about the, you know, the trend line, it's still doing okay. I think the issue for me is, like, I don't really want a long ETH. I'd rather actually long a proxy of ETH like LDO, which has shown real good strength. Definitely one to watch. And it's really just the same as BTC at the moment. It just hasn't had that sweet pie. What's my postcode? Nice try, IRS. Vilmantas is a Fed. I think we've got him, boys. Must be London. Used to live there when I got really okay with work. Could not afford a place from London by myself. Had to live in a shared home. Yeah, I mean, London's an absolute joke. Like, oh, you want a 1-bedroom flat? $4 million, please. Like, what? But no, I mean, you got to do what you got to do in terms of like all that kind of wonderful stuff. But yeah, it's just the, I think like when I was young, £1 million got you like a very a stately home basically, and now they're all like 20-30 mil. When there isn't much action in crypto, do you ever look into individual stocks? No, I don't. It's something that I've always toyed with, but to be honest with you, I find myself not having too much time as it stands. So, yeah, what you probably don't know is that I do a lot of coding. Well, not a lot. I've not done much recently because I'm stuck with something. But I'm going to be coding up a few more indicators. So, like for the group, we've got loads of indicators that I've coded up. A lot of them are for Magus, and he uses VWAPs and all that kind of wonderful stuff. And I don't really use them. I try and research, so I'm trying to find. Like, I had such high conviction in Tomo, unironically, and Rune, and I had, I'd invested quite a lot of money in both of them. Both of them did really well. Actually, Rune did incredibly well, and Tomo was good, but it probably didn't do as well as other things in the market. But I had such conviction in those plays that my targets for Rune, I'll share. I was shilling Rune at 3 cents, and I was shilling Rune at $20, which is basically the Pico fucking top. I sold some at 20, but I sold some at different levels. So on my first buys of Rune, I made like nearly 700x, but my average entry was actually 0.3, I think, in the end, because I averaged in quite a bit. But yeah, high conviction plays and ridiculous targets paid off in crypto. So finding something that I'm that excited about in crypto is kind of my next goal. And honestly, there's not much. There's really not much. It's probably because I've seen it all before. That's the average price for a small one-bedroom apartment in Oslo. Yeah, it's fucking depressing. But anyway. Because of tax exemptions on stocks about protection of funds. Yeah, no, I get that. It's just for me, I don't know how to trade them other than looking at charts. And I've got the feeling that there are people out there who kind of trade it better than me. So, my edge is going to be so... it's just not going to be great. What do I think about 0x0? I've seen it shield quite a lot on the timeline. But yeah, no major. I haven't really looked at it, to be honest. It's the classic, isn't it? All these different things you look at. Wife is WhatsApping me. Ping, ping, ping. Do I still farm airdrops? Not really. Not. I haven't. The problem with airdrops at the moment is they oscillate. It's like anything, right? So everyone got the ARB airdrop. I got $1 million from ARB. Right. Everyone becomes a fucking ARB airdrop chaser or an airdrop chaser. And so every bit of potential projects that are airdropping, everyone is kind of like, actually, yeah, it's probably down here, isn't it? So everyone gets the ARB airdrop. Oh my god, my friend made $300,000 off it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, everyone wants to be an airdrop hunter. So everyone's researching, everyone's finding them. The projects are making them public, blah, 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 which means your share is typically smaller the projects themselves are using them as community growth, which is great, but actually they're kind of airdrop hunters don't give a shit about the actual project. So your base community is people that just want free money. So really, it's a bit crap. And then what happens is people kind of realize that airdrop hunting goes off. When people aren't interested in airdrop hunting, and I stop seeing it all again, that's kind of when I'll be interested. Because it's just like there's so many people doing it. And then obviously you have the other cycle, and we've just drawn something. But yeah, it's not worth the effort. I mean, it's actually to the guy who asked what you'd do if you had 5k. Sorry, I don't mean only 5k. I just mean that like relatively, it would be so difficult to trade that and make a reasonable living on a daily basis. You know, blah blah blah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hi, Greg. 86. It's short term, and it's mostly for people who want free money. But there is, you know, it is a reasonable strategy if you've got a low starting capital. So if I had something like 5k, the way that I'd try and do things would be sell my services and actually try and make some money in crypto. So if you're an accountant, go to projects that have like shit treasury management, speak to them. If you're a designer, do some memes. Reach out to, you know, groups or whoever or projects that want some form of support. If you've got like community management skills, if you've got whatever, like I would start trying to split income between you know, my job, which pays for work life stuff, and like crypto, where I can actually do some side projects and get involved in the space, get some network built up, get some connections, but also get paid for the skills that I've already got, and use that to start building like a crypto portfolio, which is, you know, completely aside from your real life shenanigans. But that's me personally. Let's start thinking about it as sort of two separate parts. Alright, has anyone got any questions, any comments, any queries, anything you want me to go over quickly? Otherwise I'm going to go and I'm going to go take my daughter to McDonald's, I think. Because she's broke her arm. What's my rank in CS? Ooh. What do you think it is? XBY Thon FX. MGE, I don't even know what that is, but I like the fact that you think I'm dog shit. Thanks, mate. Thanks. Master Guardian Elite. Oh, yeah, I actually think I am. Never had a subway in my life, mate. Never. I'm just too intimidated by the footlong. That's what it is. But no, I've never, honestly, never eaten a Subway. Does that put me on the list of deprived people? Don't. Mental wealth one says don't. Is that how I keep my mental wealth, is it? Yeah, I'm just, I like... You say they tested the tuna? Ah, you're going to say something gross now, aren't you? Well, believe it or not, boys, 0 tuna DNA detected. Oh, nice. Nice. I worked at McDonald's years ago. It was when I was in like 6th form, which is like, I don't know, America burger equivalent of like college. So, you know, it wasn't my career choice. Did you get scammed? Yeah, you got scammed, Rapid Overwatch. No, you shouldn't have done. Just DM me on Twitter. Twitter. But yeah, I mean, some of the stuff seeing McDonald's was not great. I mean, it was like 20 years ago, but their fries are radioactive. Yeah, but I think it's a lot better now. It's a lot better now I'm not working there. Although, if the market continues like this, I may have to go back. Hey guys, remember me? Which they absolutely would not, because I didn't even get a... I was one of the only people who like worked there on Saturdays for like 2 years, and I didn't manage to get any stars or any kind of recognition. It's probably just because I gave my mates free stuff. They'd all order like a hamburger. I'd be like, you just want a plain hamburger? Yeah, plain hamburger. Yeah, cool. And then I'd just give them like 5 Big Macs. KFC. Oh yeah, don't. Maybe I'll go to KFC instead. Oof. We'll see what my daughter wants to do. But yes, thank you for tuning in. Rapid, give me a DM and I'll give you access. If you hit the follow button on the old stream, we will do some more setup focused streams. Oh, I might even do another stream this week, and we'll actually go over some plans. Get the big cocos. Get that, lovely. But yes, I love you and leave you all. If you are Mothering Sunday today, send your mother my love. That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. And enjoy the rest of your wonderful weekends. Thank you for coming, and good luck in the Meme Coin Casino. Au revoir.
He's BTC Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly. He's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie.